Good morning, everybody. In the year 1965, the last year of the baby boomer, there were nearly 72.5 billion babies born. Population peaked in 1999 with 78.8 million. So by the year 2024, baby boomers will have reached the age of 60 to 78, which means retirement for most of them. This is really important to realize because that means that there will be what we call a gap in the industry. For 3 years, I was part of an organization called Skills USA, which specialized and trained high school students and college students as well in the workforce through classes and competitions. 2 of those years, I was a Congressional District 8 officer, one being president and the other being a Texas vice president. So Skills has been a major tool used since 1965. If you were paying attention at the beginning, that's also the last year of the baby boomers. And so, in order to understand the panorama of this issue, we are going to dive a little deeper into what Skills is, their creed, and most important, the effect it has had and is having in our lives. Let me define what Skills is and what it's for. Skills was founded in 1965, but was originally called VICA, which stood for Vocational Industrial Clubs of America, but now they changed it to Skills USA. Skills USA is a partnership of students, teachers, and industry workers working together to ensure America has a skilled workforce. Skills USA helps each student excel, which provide educational programs, events, competitions that support career and technical education, also known as CTE, in the nation's classrooms. And this was found by Lion Associates, which is also on the Skills USA official website. Skills mainly targets high school students, but anybody can join Skills. Every year, alumni come back to volunteer and judge along with industry workers as well. Skills wants everybody to be workforce ready. This past summer, or past couple of months, I've been working together with high schools and the industry workers that go back and help judge. And this past month, I was judging what we call the OCC, or opening and closing ceremony, which is, I'm going to give you a quick rundown on what it is. Basically what the OCC is, the opening and closing ceremony, is it explains what Skills USA is, the meaning behind each component of the emblem. And so now that we have a better understanding of what that is, let's take a look at their creed and the significance of each component and the significance of their emblem in depth. Their creed reads, "I believe in the dignity of work. I believe in the American way of life. I believe in education. I believe in fair play. I believe in satisfaction I believe satisfaction is achieved by good work, and I believe in high moral and spiritual standards." And so let's go back to the first one. I believe in dignity of work. So they want you to be dignified while working. So what does that mean? It means that you want not only to, work well, but you also want to have integrity doing it in everything that you do in your work. The American way of life, I know that our culture is the result of freedom and action and opportunities won by the founders of our American Republic, and I will uphold their ideals. I believe in education. I will endeavor to make the best of use of my knowledge, skills, and experience that I will learn in order that I may be a better worker in my chosen occupation and a better citizen in my community. To this end, I will continue my learning now and in the future. I believe in fair play. I will, through honesty and fair play, respect the rights of others. I will always conduct myself in the manner of the best professionals in my occupation and treat those with whom I work as I would like to be treated. I believe satisfaction is achieved by good work. I feel that compensation and personal satisfaction received from my work and services will be in proportion to my creative and productive ability. I believe in high moral and spiritual standards. I will endeavor to conduct myself in such a manner as to set an example for others by living a wholesome life and by fulfilling my responsibilities as a community. So their emblem is composed of 5 main points, which is the shield, the gear, the torch, the orbital circles, and the hands. So the shield represents patriotism. The shield denotes our belief in democracy, liberty, and the American way of life. The gear represents the industrial society. The gear, symbolic of the industrial society, denotes the interdependence and cooperation, working with the individual for the betterment of mankind. The torch represents knowledge. The flaming torch reflects the light of knowledge, which dispels the darkness of ignorance. In the light of the torch, progress will be made towards vocational goals of the individual. The orbital circles represents technology. The circles represent the challenge of modern technology and the training needed to accept and master new technical frontiers and the need for continuous education. The hands represent a search for knowledge and our desire to acquire skill. In the process of attaining that knowledge and skill, we will develop a respect for the dignity of work and become productive and responsible citizens. And this was taken from the earlier Skills to Save VICA website that was published online in 2004. In the beginning, I mentioned baby boomers because now that you have a greater detailed picture of skills, we can now see how skills impacts our society and what the boomers have to do with it. The bottom line is that the United States is in the process of a dramatic demographic change. The rapid aging of the population and the change has implications for the participation and unemployment figures that we see every month. It is important to keep in mind that regardless of general economic factors, we should expect to see labor force participation continue to decline for the remainder of this decade due to retiring baby boomers. And that was given by Mono from 2014. So although this may sound bad, there's so many people retiring, what's gonna happen to the workforce, that's not a bad thing. And actually that's actually a really, really good thing, especially for you guys being high school and college students. You guys are here to fill what we call the gap, as I mentioned earlier. So the gap is basically that gap from 65 to 99, where now they're an older generation and they don't have the ability to work anymore. And so that's our job to fill that gap. We need to be ready in the workforce, and through that we need to be just not only like workforce ready, but also have the soft skill ready, soft skills being, speaking skills, leadership skills, being able to talk one-on-one with somebody and being able to just keep a conversation. Soft skills is basically the opposite of what we call hard skills, and the hard skills is more manual labor, the hands-on stuff. And so whether you have either one, both, none, the gap is there. And so I feel that we as a generation need to work together to fill that gap. Now, I encourage you guys to go out and do that, exactly that. Go out, try to find a job, but not just any job, don't look for just like McDonald's jobs or, working at retail stores, but try to find a trade, a skilled trade, because that's where that gap is coming from. Like the older generation, they can work in retail stores because it's not a rigorous job. Rigorous jobs, more like construction, and the medical field, the professional field, the technology field, that's the gap that we need to fill. And I encourage you guys to look into those and see if you can find a shadow, an internship, paid internship, unpaid internship, but go out. I encourage you all guys to do that.